J.B. Michaels, USA Today best-selling author, and his wife, Ashley, are here for another edition of Magic in the Midwest podcast. This is podcast number 4.
Indeed it is.
It is already the 4th podcast.
It's flying by.
It is flying by, everybody. Yes, so like I said, this is the Magic in the Midwest podcast. I am JB Michaels. The podcast is always sponsored by my books, which you can find if you search for JB Michaels on Amazon.com. Also, Harrison and James Publishing.com as well. So lots of different places to check out the sponsors for this book. And of course, we would not be able to do this without our great subscribers on magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com.
This is true.
So thank you to those who have subscribed. Especially we got a new subscriber this week. Thank you very much to Sam. Yes, Sam has subscribed this week. Thank you very much, Sam, for keeping the podcast rolling. Glad you're enjoying the content, and we're excited for you to hear the Attraction SmackDown episodes, which are exclusives to Bandcamp.
Yes. Along with access to our subscriber-only Facebook group.
Yes.
Which we really need to vamp up a little bit, but it is a cool place to be. We're going to do some live videos in there, some giveaways, some cool Disney chit-chat, if you will. Right.
So
you want to be there.
Right. You want to be there. It's going to be fun.
You do.
It is fun.
You want to be there.
Yes. So just to do a short little recap, we started with Tomorrowland, and then we went over to Fantasyland.
We did.
Okay. So wait, is this the 4th or the 3rd?
It's the 4th.
Oh, it's the 4th because the first wasn't about the lands.
It wasn't.
It was about us.
Our lives.
It was about us. Days of our lives. Yeah, so you're right. So then we went over to Fantasyland, and now today, if you are going in order, say you start from Tomorrowland and you head to the next land closest to Tomorrowland, which is, of course, Fantasyland, and then after Fantasyland, you head into a mini land that is called Liberty Square. Mm-hmm. So that will be the first part of today's podcast, talking about Liberty Square.
Yeah.
And then the second part will be Frontierland. So this might be a hefty podcast. So buckle up. Settle in. Buckle up.
Pour yourself a drink.
Put your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. Okay. Okay, so, Ash, Liberty Square is not very big.
It's not. It's pretty small.
But it's iconic. It's iconic for a couple different reasons.
Hashtag Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, hashtag Haunted Mansion. Hashtag America.
You guys, I don't know what JB's
hashtag
talking
America.
about. Only he knows these little tidbits.
Okay, so in Disneyland, there is another square.
Is it you?
No. Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Guys. You're not there.
Yeah, it's have to be square. I used to be a renegade. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I used to fool around.
You get a prize if you know what he's singing.
But I couldn't take the punishment and had to settle down.
Okay. Wrap it up.
All right, now I'm playing it real straight. Okay. Get it?
That's
all right, so
clever.
Liberty in Disneyland, there is a square called New Orleans Square.
Okay.
Which has Haunted Mansion in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it has Pirates of the Caribbean in it.
You've never taken me there.
I have not. And I don't know if I ever will. Okay, so, kidding. Of course he will. Harrison will come and you could come with, I guess.
Great.
Yeah. So, no, New Orleans Square. So, in Disney World, they decided, well, let's not repeat ourselves. Let's, do something a little different. So, they decided they would do Liberty Square, considering they're on the East Coast, obviously, in Florida. Okay, and yes, you have, of course, the 13 colonies, the original 13. So Liberty Square is a colonial type area. Okay? So if you are a history fan, this is a great. Actually, the whole podcast is historical today. Liberty Square is the place to be. There's actually a replica of the Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, brought there from the same foundry that made the original Liberty Bell. Isn't that crazy?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's making me think of National Treasure.
Yeah, National Trash.
Love that.
Man, we need to watch that.
Yeah.
Can we watch that? All right. Yeah, we're going to watch that soon on the
Tonight?
Plus. On the Plus. Sure. I mean, we have it on digital.
Hashtag on the Plus.
We have it on DVD because it was an older movie. And it was before Blu-rays came out.
Do you remember when DVDs were, all the rage?
Yes.
DVD players were like $500.
People were like, you have to see DVD. Have you seen DVD? And I was like...
Now you can get a DVD player for like $25.
At Walgreens.
It's like a piece of crap.
Yes. Anyway, it's pretty cool.
We're old.
Yeah, no. Speak for yourself.
Nope.
All right. So Liberty Square is a really great, colonial spot. Speaking of which makes it colonial, is a couple different things. Of course, it is home to one of the more controversial attractions in Disney, particularly because there is a president in there now who people don't like. President Trump is officially in the Hall of Presidents.
Have we seen it?
We have not.
We have not.
We have not. Which is really strange because I guess if you see Trump, the animatronic Trump, he sort of has a lot of similarities to Hillary Clinton. Yes.
Wait, how?
Like that Disney was actually making a Clinton audio animatronic. That's the speculation.
This is the rumor.
And that when Trump won, they had to switch gears and they didn't fund.
Let's use what we have of Hillary's face and make Trump's.
So there is there's all these videos on YouTube. Look at the Trump animatronic.
Okay.
Look at the shape of his face. And you could see some Clinton.
We can see
some
it.
Hillary. Some Hillary. Oh, Hillary, I love you. Oh, come here, baby.
Stop.
Let's go to Liberty Square. Oh, man. Okay, sorry. That was terrible. Sorry. We just lost a whole lot of listeners because of the Clinton impression. Okay, so Hall of Presidents, really cool. Okay, really cool. I love it. I think it's really neat. How do you feel about the Hall of Presidents?
I do like the Hall of Presidents. Now, I have not... Why are you looking at your phone?
I was checking...
Be devoted.
Information.
Be devoted.
Check it info. I'm devoted. Got a ring on it.
Yeah, I don't wear mine because the D papers. No, but we have not seen it, like we just said, since the Trump edition. But I do enjoy it, actually.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's something that America doesn't really do anymore. It's not really something to be. It's not cool to love your country, really. It just isn't.
Yeah, which is sad.
It is. We're a very divisive society these days.
People don't really tolerate other people's opinions.
Right. So
it's rough out there, guys.
This attraction is meant to, be prideful of the country that you live in, and the leaders that the country has had. It has all of the presidents inside of it. They're all represented. It's a really neat place. If anything, the AC is cranked up in there. So if you are super hot and you need a break in the middle of the day, head over to Hall of Presidents. It's a really cool show. Animatronics, a lot of good. There's a good Lincoln speech in there. Lincoln gets up and the whole. It's cool. They actually retooled it not that long ago. It's supposed to be even better.
Retooled it?
They retooled the show.
What does that mean, retooled?
Retooled. Basically, that means that they revamped it. They made some additions. I
just think, why would
they
you
made
say
it more
revamped?
Because retooled is actually what they did. They retooled. Yeah. So they made it. There's a new show in there, so it's gotten updated since we've been there.
How long is the show?
It's like 15, 20 minutes. It's solid.
Maybe I'm confusing this with, is there a show in Epcot?
Yeah, yes, that's much longer. It's called The American Adventure.
Does that have Lincoln in it?
No.
Okay.
No, it has Benjamin Franklin, Mark Twain,
okay, then
Teddy
I'm
Roosevelt.
Of the Hall of Presidents. Okay.
Yeah. So this whole time, Ash wasn't thinking of the right attraction. Way to go!
No, I was. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't another one with presidents, because I definitely remember Lincoln. So I'm thinking of the right one.
Right. Well, there's a Lincoln attraction in Disneyland.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not thinking of that.
Well, maybe you saw a video of it.
All
right, it's on, guys. D-paper time. I'm signing them. I'm signing them. No. So yeah.
Why I drink while we're recording.
Hall of Presidents, really cool. I think you should take your kids into it.
You got to go in there at least once.
I think you just need to.
And I'm not a history person, guys. I mean, I like it, but I'm not all about it.
Right.
But, I love the AC, and...
It's a cool show.
It is.
It is. It's really neat in there.
Get to know your prezzies.
Yeah, the presidents. Yes. So then, of course, you have the Liberty Bell, which is the big paddle riverboat that you could get on and go around the rivers of America. Mm-hmm. So you go around, go around Frontierland, around Tom Sawyer Island, and in the back there's some little things that you don't normally see.
Okay.
I've never been there's some teepees and things like that back there.
Okay. Wigwams.
Wigwams. It's neat. It's cool, and then it's just a very chill boat ride. It's a big boat, and it's docked right next to the marquee attraction of Liberty Square, of course, and that is what everybody loves, the Haunted Mansion.
One of our son's favorite rides.
Yes, it is his favorite.
He loves villains and ghosts and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, he's got that dark side to him. It's
me, guys.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is.
He dresses up as stormtroopers.
Yeah, he's very interested in the villains.
Yeah,
he loves the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he studies these people. He tries to do impressions of them.
We'll have to do the after hours villain thing.
Yes, he would love that. Villains After Dark.
Yeah.
That would be really neat.
I would love that too.
I would love that as well. It's really cool. My grandmother also loved the villains. So Haunted Mansion. Just Ash, give us your quick thoughts on Haunted Mansion before we move on to Frontierland.
It's probably my favorite, dark ride. Yeah, I love Haunted Mansion. I think it offers a lot. I always notice something new every time I go on it. It's one of my favorite rides in Disney World.
Yeah. It is fantastic.
Those are my quick thoughts. I also love that you are terrified of the bride, and it brings me joy when I see you get upset.
Yeah, I will say this. Okay.
One day I will dress up as her.
If you've listened to the SmackDown episode, you probably heard this already. But it's not as scary now as it was before.
Yes, I know, but you still freak out.
Okay, because you hear that heartbeat. The old one, there's a floating bride with a candle.
Are you over it yet?
No.
No,
I'm
not.
I
need to find pictures of the old one, and that's what I'm
going
to do for Halloween.
My brother-in-law, we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. We shared a bed at Disney's Coronado Springs. We shared a bed.
Strange way.
At Disney's Coronado.
Okay. And you're talking about.
And we were talking about the Haunted Mansion. We were talking about the bride, and we're just, we were bored and we were not asleep yet, so we were just talking. And Mike, my brother-in-law, decided he accidentally smashed his elbow onto the headboard of the bed.
Okay.
And it made a huge, loud noise. It scared the heck out of both of us. I screamed. We were just talking about the bride, and I was I was a little freaked out still about the bride, and then he, boom, like that, smacked his elbow against the wall, and I was like, oh, the headboard, and I laughed. I mean, we laughed afterwards.
Is this the trip where you guys were, hitting on?
No, we weren't. Yes, I was. Yes.
Oh, are you covering
the
for him?
UK pavilion? He was not hitting on
Sounds
anybody.
I don't know.
Yes. So
his wife.
We were. hitting on
JB's sister
United
listens
Kingdom.
to this podcast, so
We're at the United
JB
Kingdom.
is still covering.
I'm covering. He did not. So the Haunted Mansion is a classic. Again, it's an attraction that was touched by Walt, not fully developed by Walt, but he did want this type of attraction in Disney World.
In the parks.
Yeah, in the parks. In Disneyland, of course.
Right.
Originally it wasn't going to be a ride. It was just going to be a walk-through attraction. And if you look, of course, to stick with the theme, so the New Orleans Square Disneyland version of the Haunted Mansion is a completely different building.
Yeah, it is.
It's like more of like a plantation southern house, with like the white pillars and everything. Whereas the one in Magic Kingdom is more like a New England estate. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's brick, it's stone. There's really not a lot of wood or wood siding or anything. It's it's very Gothic in a way. But big differences there between those two parks. But yeah, Haunted Mansion is the best. It speaks for itself, and we found out not that long ago why they don't. Disneyland is a locals park for the most part, and they do this special Christmas makeover.
Right.
They do the Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right, which really catches our attention now because, I mean, we like Jack Skellington, but our son loves Nightmare Before Christmas, so we, of course, were curious why they don't do that overlay in Disney World, and it's because, it's not as much, definitely, a locals park. People are coming for, maybe a once-in-a-lifetime trip or, something like that, and Disney World feels like, fans might be, or those people visiting may be upset if it was their one time coming and the Haunted Mansion wasn't in its like original state. Yeah.
His more corruptible state.
Yeah.
That's for the ride.
Where, for Disneyland they can do that because it's, people coming.
It's mostly people from California with passes.
Although I do feel like
local annual passes.
I mean, it will never change with Disney World that people are coming for once in their life or once or twice in their life, but it's definitely becoming more of a locals park too.
Yeah.
Lately.
You're right. There's a huge influx of people moving into Disney Orlando, the Orlando area, getting annual passes. I mean, just recently, Disney jacked up the prices of annual passes because they're trying to limit the amount of locals that come in.
Yeah, but still basically trying to make sure they're getting the same money in their pocket because the prices are going up. We also see a lot of events, like the last few times we've been there, events that kind of would cater more to locals. And I've noticed, and I think you have too, that even though the wait times for rides are relatively the same, the parks feel like really crowded.
Well,
and it's because locals are in there not necessarily going on a bunch of rides, but getting certain food items or whatever. I mean, so
this happened to us twice.
Yeah.
The last time we went, which was in August of 2019.
It was crazy, guys. We had never experienced anything like this before.
Well, it's almost like I want to tell people to, if you're staying on property, this is some pro tips. Every so often we do pro tips.
Pro tips.
Pro tips. Pro tips. And we were thinking, okay, we planned out our Fast Pass Pluses in advance, right?
Yeah.
So me and Ash sat down and Ash, sorry.
Whoa.
Damn, I sat down too. Okay. Me and Ash sat down about 60 days in advance, the morning of, like literally
not
the
about
morning
60 days, guys.
Like as soon as you could possibly.
5:30 a.m.
Yes, it was intense. Well, we did it, but we decided, okay, well, let's utilize every park resort perk that we can. Mm-hmm. So we decided, hey, let's do the extra morning magic hours.
Yep.
Right? The extra magic hours.
We don't normally take advantage of those, but we were with my parents this trip, and they're early risers, so we thought, let's just do
let's do the morning ones.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
It was.
I did not.
It was a huge mistake.
I did not. I was actually sort of appalled. Like, I was a little upset. So,
you should describe the morning. This is a little bit of a tangent, guys. So the morning at Magic Kingdom.
Right. The morning at Magic Kingdom was bizarre. It was technically extra magic hours, extra morning hours. So they basically allowed you to go. Where do they allow you to go? Only to Main Street, right? And like one part of the park?
In one part of the park, but it wasn't like stated anywhere or very clear anywhere. So there were all these ropes. There was also this like haunted mansion merchandise event,
yes,
which there was a
which
separate line for that. And then, which, you know, you had to have a ticket for. So obviously we weren't doing that. And then there was also, they do this breakfast thing for Seven Doors Mine Train where you give like a breakfast reservation and then you get early access to that.
So basically it made...
But like we would walk in and instead of telling us, oh, you can only go this way towards Tomorrowland or whatever it was, they just had all these ropes with cast members and everyone was sort of walking around aimlessly like, where are we supposed to go? And eventually, like literally, if you have an extra magic hour and by the time we actually got to go anywhere, we had 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And
it was insane.
Since everyone from extra magic hours was only allowed to go into this one little tiny part of the park, it was so jam-packed. Like, I don't even know if we did one thing.
No, we didn't.
And that's the whole point, is that like it's supposed to be less crowded. They allowed us
to go shopping early on Main Street, but they did not allow us to go on any attractions. We got stopped multiple times.
And I was like, what was the point?
I was like, I want to go, you know, can we go to Pirates? We're like, can we go on Haunted Mansion? Like, my son's really excited. You know, we're here early. We'll take advantage of it. And they stopped us. And they said no. And I was like, well, isn't it? It's extra magic hours. We're staying on property. And they're like, oh, well, you know, only certain parts of the park are open during extra. That was never the case. No,
and before. Right, it was never the case before. And while we realized that things change, when we asked about it, we said like we've done this before, and this was never the case. The cast members were just sort of like, it's always been like this.
No, it's always been like this. No, it hasn't.
Could really just be
honest. We're Disney veterans. It was not like this.
Yeah.
And then
it happened again.
To make it worse, it happened again. Well, and this is part of what we're talking about. By becoming more of a locals park.
Yeah.
That merch event was mostly for locals.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably not people taking time out of their like trip to get merchandise.
No, and a lot of these...
It might have been, maybe a few.
Maybe some, but I feel like by the time those things are planned, you wouldn't be able to plan your trip.
The line stretched from the hub at Magic Kingdom, all the way through Liberty Square down to Frontierland.
Which is crazy, because if you guys have been in that store, it's the tiniest store in the world. I don't know how they were possibly stocked enough to...
So what was really strange about that was, you know, so that event was happening, and then the next day at Hollywood Studios, a similar thing happened. Both days, we got a special text message from the head of that particular park for that day, saying if you are experiencing, you know, higher than normal wait times and crowds, please go see these blue shirted cast member experiences or guest experiences places, you know. And you know, I was just we never experienced it, so I didn't know.
Basically there were these cast members wearing blue shirts under a blue umbrella that said like guest
trying to put fires out, basically.
And you know, they were placed there so that people could come up and complain, and they would just sort of take it to get the heat off of what was happening.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. Really bizarre. So,
but you know, we never experienced that at night. In the evening? The extra magic hours, it seems maybe that's more common in the morning.
Yeah, so if you have extra magic hours, you're staying on property, try and shoot for the night extra magic hours.
I also do think that because attendance, they claim, is down in the summer, and that's when we visit.
Yeah. They do these special events.
They're trying to get locals in the park in the summer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So doing special events, getting more people to come in. When we went into, I've never in my life walked into Hollywood Studios and felt more packed in like a sardine. It was insane. It was very, very busy. So just pro tip, I would do the extra magic hours at night. So, all right, so now, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, you walk from Liberty Square, and then you're basically in Frontierland. We will do another, probably another whole show, a whole set of shows on food, because there's places to eat in Frontierland and Liberty Square.
And I love to eat.
We're just not even going to get to it because there's so much to talk about. So obviously, Frontierland is fantastic. It's supposed to represent different frontiers of America, right? This is the United, again, this is still USA. The rivers of America are on the side of Frontierland. And the big attractions, of course, are Country Bear Jamboree.
Love Country Bear Jamboree.
Yes.
Arguably my favorite show on property.
Your favorite show? Really?
Yeah, I think so, unless I'm forgetting one.
It's awesome.
I love it.
I'm
really afraid that it might go away someday.
Why? Why would Country Bear go away?
I don't know if
there were rumors flying around last summer about that Country Bear Jamboree is going to get shut down for the 50th.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be terrible.
But
that would be terrible.
I love the Tiki Room too, but I love Country Bear.
Yeah, Country Bear Jamboree.
It's really funny. People in there, I think, are laughing really hard when they don't expect to.
Right.
Almost every time we're in there, people are cracking
It's an older show, but it's an awesome show. It's got a bunch of animatronic bears. I mean, it's like borderline inappropriate at times.
Which is why you might get shut down.
Yeah, I know. But I love it.
Again, air conditioned, short.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great show.
And my favorite character, who when I was a child, I had to have his stuffed animal, and that's Big Al. You know who Big Al is.
I do.
Blood on the saddle.
You'll know who he is when you see him.
Blood all around.
All right.
Yeah, he's basically like the Johnny Cash version, in the ride. In the attraction.
Of a bear.
Except he's huge.
He is giant.
So Big Al is amazing. You laugh when you see him initially. I mean, it's just a really fun show.
It
is. And it really gets you clapping and into it. I really get into it. Am I being too cheesy when I'm in there? Or do I just,
No, it's one of the attractions that you annoy me not as much on. You guys, that's a story for another time.
What does that
JB
mean?
on Flight of Passage ruined the experience.
We'll talk about that when we get to him.
Will.
That is not true.
Salty about it.
Oh my gosh. Country Bear Jamboree. Again, it's just a show. You sit down on benches. It's a fun animatronic spectacular.
Yeah, there's usually not a line for it either.
Yeah, usually you could just get right in there and enjoy the show. It is fun, very fun. It's a classic. It's been around for, I think, since the 60s. It's an old one. It's an oldie, but it's fantastic. I mean, obviously not 60s in Disney World.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. All right. All right. So then we have Tom Sawyer Island. Have you ever been over there?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Tom Sawyer Island, you would actually have to take a raft. You take a raft over to it.
Oh.
Yeah. And basically, it's a big play place. Is really what it is.
So lots of younger kids getting energy out.
Right. Yeah. Harrison would probably love it. Yeah. There's these rifles.
I'll send you guys over on the raft.
It's pretty neat.
I'm gonna go grab a marg.
Yeah, there's no margs in the Magic Kingdom.
Something.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay.
A pretzel and a slush.
Yes, pretzel and a slush. So Tom Sawyer Island is, again, Americana, right? American history. In Disneyland, it is a pirate's island. They changed it. It's no longer.
That's way cooler.
It's no longer Tom Sawyer.
Jealous.
So, but yes. So, if you want to, it's one of those attractions that, if you have the time, if you're doing a full day at Magic Kingdom, and you aren't taking a break in the middle of the day, which we don't recommend. We recommend taking a break.
Yep.
And you want someplace to go chill and get away, you could go to Tom Sawyer Island. I think it's cool.
Okay.
Grab a Coke or something beforehand and shoot on over to Tom Sawyer. Shoot on over.
Take Coke and shoot.
Shoot it on over. Okay.
And you were going to say shoot up.
Shoot up. Go over there, man, and you're like, shoot up. That is terrible. Terribly insensitive, Ash. You're the one who brought it up. Bringing up drugs. This is inappropriate for a Disney podcast. Get off my podcast. Okay. So now we're going to one of my favorites of all time. Actually, both of these. This is iconic. These two attractions are the reason you go into Frontierland. This is the reason why Frontierland is Ashley's favorite land in all of Magic Kingdom.
Don't speak for me.
Whoa, that's what you say. I go
back and forth, Frontierland or Adventureland.
Okay.
It's hard to choose.
It is. All right, so let's talk about Splash Mountain first. Ash, give us your thoughts on Ash Mountain.
I love Splash Mountain. It is a longer ride. It has the old animatronics. You guys, JB is like doing weird movements with his nose. I love everything about Splash Mountain. I love the queue. I love the ride. I love, I just love it. I think it's everything that Disney should be in an attraction.
Okay, great.
So, high marks for me.
Nice, very good.
If anyone listens to our Smackdowns, you know how I feel about Splash Mountain and the damp rocks.
Yes, damp rocks.
Usually a long line, but I feel like it's one of those rides that I definitely don't mind waiting for because you're usually hot when you're in Florida and it delivers. I mean, it's like a 15-minute ride.
Yeah, it's awesome.
There's so much to see. Awesome. Like, it's such a great ride. And then you also have, like, the little thrills of the dips along the way.
Yeah,
and then
it's not just one big dip.
Which is exactly what I thought about JB when I met him. No. That's actually what I thought the ride was. And then I was just very pleasantly surprised to find out that it's so much more than that.
And, it's actually originally opened, Imagineer, Tony Baxter. This is his baby. He's got a couple of them. In Frontierland, actually. This is Tony Baxter's land, basically. So he was tasked with making this attraction and coming up with the idea for the attraction. It was originally called Zippity River Run. Yes, Zippity River Run.
Okay.
And, of course, Michael Eisner was like, no, we can't call it Zippity River Run. Let's call it something else. And at the time,
Mikey Eisner, good call.
Mikey Eisner, yeah. This was Michael Eisner and Frank Wells' first big attraction that they okayed, that they greenlit. So he, at the time, they're a big hit for Touchstone Pictures, which has a big controversy right now at Disney Plus. Splash, the movie Splash,
right?
With Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus, they scrubbed her butt, the butt scene out of it.
I don't remember the.
Well, you see her butt in the movie.
Is this important?
Well, it goes with what I'm about to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because when I was a kid, when we saw the movie, I was like, Harrison's age, I was like, Mom, look at that butt. It was in the middle of the theater and everybody laughed. It was pretty cute. Anyway, so Michael Eisner was like, well, because they had the whole concept of Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Song of the South and the singing and Zippity Doo-Dah. And they had that all set. And they were like, well, we can't call it Zippity River Run. And, what are we going to put on the queue? And, how about Splash Mountain? Or Splash, something Splash, Michael Eisner said. And, of course, that's what they, then they came up with Splash Mountain, but they dropped, obviously. Eisner wanted the mermaid on the side.
That's so funny to think about.
It's like, let's put the mermaid on the side. It's like, no, I don't think that's really going to work.
Mountain.
Let's just call it Splash Mountain. And actually it works, right?
It does.
Because you add that word mountain, and you've got this whole mountain range now in Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
You've got Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain.
All great rides.
And, of course, the Matterhorn over in Disneyland.
Yep.
So you have this legacy of mountains. But yeah, Splash Mountain, I mean, it's just incredible. It's actually more fleshed out in the Disney World attraction than it is. The story is more fleshed out in the Disneyland or Disney World attraction than the Disneyland one. And the vehicles, you sit 2 by 2 in the logs in Disney World. And in Disneyland,
you sit more than 2 people in a log.
Well, 2 next to each other is what I mean. Pairs. You sit in pairs next to each other. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like you have someone next to you.
So the 3 of us rode together once.
So, well, yeah, we smashed.
If you have like a kid.
If you have a little kid, you could smash on the bench. But Disneyland's is just single file.
Right.
So it's also smaller, not quite as good. But yeah, Splash Mountain is just incredible. And they, it's funny because like they all said, well, we need a log flume ride. Like we need a log flume attraction. And the ride wasn't really done yet. And Michael Eisner wanted to get on the ride, like before it was done. He's like, I want to go on. And they're like, what do you mean you want to go on? And he's like, no, I want to go on. So they put him in a big like plastic bag, garbage bag, to not get him wet because they weren't sure. They didn't level out the water levels yet. So it was like could be really bad.
That's funny.
And he was like, no, I want to go on it. And it wasn't really done. And they even said the drop, at the end into the briar patch, like there was some scaffolding. They're like, you have to put your head back because you don't want to hit the scaffolding. So they had to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then when they got down, to know, like imagine your boss, like just wants to come.
No,
and ride.
I want to go on it now.
Yeah, no, I want to go on the ride now. It's not done yet. No, I want to go. Let's go. I want to go on. As soon as they was done, what did he say?
I don't know.
I want to go on it. Can we do it again?
It's always a good sign.
Can we do it again? Of course. So, Splash Mountain, the music, the performances, the show, the animatronics. There's like over 100 and something animatronics in it.
And it has one of my favorite signs.
Yeah.
In Disney World.
Yes.
In the queue.
Yes, it does.
That I recreated.
Which is you can't run away from trouble. Ain't no place that far.
Love it.
I love that as well. So we love it. It's one of my all-time favorites, and it's cool if you go at night. You come up, and you get to see, you see the Magic Kingdom on the top of it.
Yeah, and I just love that you're
castle
in the mountain at certain points and then out of the mountain at certain points. It's just a cool ride.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of bang for your buck.
It is. And Brer Frog is a character that is not in Disneyland, but he's in this one. And in line, you could see him like, rocking on his rocking chair. There's so many cool little touches. It's so good. So awesome. Good. Okay. So, and then of course the last amazing attraction here in Frontierland, and that is of course
Big Thunder Mountain.
Wildest ride in the wilderness, which is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So Ash, what do you think of Big Thunder?
Again, I love Big Thunder Mountain. It's awesome, especially at night. It's one of my favorite rides to go on.
Yes.
Usually it's
Nighttime
the ride that I want to end our trip on.
Yeah.
Because it's unexpected. You kind of look at it and it doesn't look like it's, very high or anything like that, but the ride goes on for a while and it kind of whips you around. And
it does.
You definitely have a different experience in the front of the ride than you do in the back.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. Like, it's just a fun ride without, having all these, like, bells or whistles of loops and high drops. It's a really fun ride regardless of all that. And it's just,
It is.
It's cool. And I like the queue, and I don't know. It's a great ride.
Yeah. So Big Thunder is, it's just one of those rides that I always remember. Mm-hmm. Like I always remember that ride. I think I've always gone on it. I don't think I've ever missed it.
We usually go on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was one trip where it was shut down.
Right. Yes.
They're refurbing something.
It's just such a fun, good family coaster, right? I mean, little kids could go on this.
Harrison went on it when he was 3.
Yeah, he did. He went on when he was 3. It's fun though. It feels very, very fun. It's not one of these coasters that's gonna blow your mind. You're not gonna you're not gonna get off it, but you're gonna be like, that was super fun. It's just a blast.
And you know what? If you have like we just said, if you have a kid that's a little leery of like the bigger coasters, this is a decent one to start out on. I mean, it's not the smoothest ride of all time, but I think that kind of goes with what it is.
It's supposed to be rickety.
Because it is.
Yes.
Definitely rickety.
Yeah.
It kind of really whips you around at certain points.
Yeah.
But it would be a good coaster, like a good family coaster.
It would. It is. Yeah. It is a really good coaster. And, it's basically based off the rocks in Sedona, Arizona, and Monument Valley. And what's neat about the ride is that, it, like you said, you feel like you're on the ride a pretty long time. Like it does. Like it keeps. It's 3 minutes long. It's over 3 minutes
for a coaster. It's pretty long.
Yeah, and I think that's really great. It's not just this quick. You're done.
You know what? Too, and this is gonna sound cheesy, but there's something about being in line for that ride at nighttime in that area of the park where there's just like this camaraderie and the group of people that are in the line. Like they're all like, "Oh yeah, this is a great ride at night." Like everyone that's there kind of knows that. Yeah. It's just
it's a good energy.
Yeah, there's a cool energy in the line for that ride. Yeah. So, and then you have to like pick. You get to that point where you like pick left or right. You know, like the line kind of splits. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? And I mean, it's just fun. You hear the people coming in from the ride, like getting off the ride, and they're kind of doing that woo thing. Yeah. And it's like echoing through the tunnel. I mean, it's just a cool.
Oh, it's cool. Great. Yeah, and the way they light the attraction at night is cool with the purples and the reds. Yeah. It's like really
definitely a different attraction at night.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is. Definitely recommended. And to be honest, it was not even supposed to be there. The original idea for this part of the park was called Thunder Mesa, so they kept the word thunder. But it was supposed to be a Pirates type of attraction.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That Mark Davis was going to consider his like magnum opus. Like he worked on this thing forever. It was called Western River Expedition. And basically you were going to experience what it was like, a Lewis and Clark type adventure. Like you're going off on this trek into the West. And of course you encounter bandits and you encounter Native Americans and you encounter, rock slides and just all sorts of really neat saloons, a shootout. It was supposed to be this like, it would have been really cool. But I guess the argument was, well, we already have rides like that.
Right.
But it would have ended, the ride would have ended with a big plunge down off Thunder Mesa, like so into the rivers of America.
Okay.
So it would have been, it would have been a thrill ride, but it would have been a lot. So it's weird. It's like it's sort of Splash Mountain-y.
Yeah.
Like they Disney always kind of keeps concepts and retools them or, revamps, retools. There's that word again. Word of the podcast, retool. But because of budget constraints and because people were upset, they wanted Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
They did not want Western River Expedition. At that point in the late 60s, Western movies were already sort of like waning in popularity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was like Westerns were being made like crazy in the 50s and 60s. And then it sort of like started to drop off in popularity too. So they're like, oh, let's not spend $1 bajillion on, Western River Expedition. Let's figure something else out. And of course, then they came up with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Well, I'm glad they did.
Yes. So, but yeah, it would have been different. It would have been a lot different over there. But still, we got our Pirates and we got our Big Thunder. That's pretty great. Mm-hmm. That's pretty great. All right, so let's do a quick recap, Ash, and then we will lock up podcast number 4 on the Magic in the Midwest. By the way, I am wearing a thick Irish sweater on April 15th. It is cold here in the Midwest. It snowed. There was snow everywhere.
This morning.
Yeah. So, hence the thesis of this
podcast. Why do we live here?
I don't know.
Let's all move.
Let's all move, everybody. Magic in the Midwest, move. All right. So, let's go back through it. Ash, we talked about Hall of Presidents. Like it?
I do.
Okay. All right, good. Liberty Bell, never been on.
No.
Haunted Mansion.
Love.
Okay. Then we head over into Frontierland. We have Country Bear Jamboree.
I mean, just the best. Don't miss it.
Blood on the saddle. Yeah, it's fantastic, people.
Yikes, everyone.
Go to Country Bears. Go to Country Bears before Disney shuts it down. Let's hope they don't.
Yeah.
But they might.
Help us.
Help Country Bears. Okay, so Country Bear Jamboree. And then, of course, what about Tom Sawyer Island? You've never been. I think it's cool. I don't think I would take a huge amount of my day to go to Tom Sawyer Island, but it's cool.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and then we have Splash Mountain.
I mean, just
we
awesomeness.
both love it. Yeah, we both love it. It's fantastic. Tells a great story. Just music, everything you could want in a Disney attraction. I just don't. I mean, some ways, I think it's perfection. I do.
I think you're copying what I've said to you.
Did you
before.
say that?
No, I think that Splash Mountain is everything that a Disney attraction should be.
Yeah, thrilling.
It's just
magical.
The queue's great. It's a long ride. It has thrills, but it's not. It doesn't have to be all thrilling. Like there's other parts of it, the storytelling, the music. It's all good.
Yeah, my father absolutely loves this ride. He smiles from ear to ear when he's on this ride.
Yeah, he does.
He just loves it. He just loves it. Everybody's got to laugh and please. All right. So, and then of course, Big Thunder Mountain.
I mean, just
it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Ride it at night.
Do it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So is that about it? Any other final thoughts, Ash?
No, I think we've been through all of it.
We've been through all of it. Oh, man. Go see me at the Hall of Presidents. Oh, so good.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Anyway, from the Midwest.
Wait, no. You got to say the whole...
Oh, gosh, we have a lot to... Sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Good thing Ash is here.
Yeah.
Please contact us. Rate and review us.
Please contact us. We need you.
We don't like each other. We need to talk to other people. I'm kidding.
We're laughing too much, Rich.
We're losing it. Okay. Magic in the Midwest podcast at gmail.com. We're also facebook.com/Magic in the Midwest podcast. We are Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're hearing, if you like JB and Ash, we have a great amount of content on the Bandcamp. So we have
I don't know if we have a great amount.
Well, we have great content.
It's great quality.
I'm going to be adding things, adding good stuff, trust me. Yes.
So check us out. You can subscribe and get access to those subscriber-only podcasts.
The Attraction Smackdowns.
Attraction. A little.
A trashy Smackdown.
Definitely an exclusive.
And then
access to our
Facebook group. Exclusive Facebook group.
So check it out.
Yeah. Bandcamp, Magic in the Midwest podcast.
Email us. Tell us what you want us to talk about, or tell us how dumb it is, or tell us your opinions. We want to hear it.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right, Disney fans, from the Midwest. See you later.